Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Control Over C podcast. I am your co-host, Ike of the Isaacs clan, and today I am joined with your host, Salsa of the Shark clan. How's it going, Salsa?
About as well as can be expected. Thank you.
Damn straight, damn straight. Well, folks, we're happy to be back. We had a little bit of a break last week. Me and Salsa are sometimes procrastinators, and
Well, no, hold on. I think the viewers deserve to know that sometimes the reason we don't record is because we spend 2 hours screaming at each other about politics.
So basically, for full clarity, last week, on Monday, we went to record this, and me and Salsa got into a minor political argument. And then on Tuesday, when we went to try and record it again, that was when we kind of procrastinated a little bit and we kind of ran out of time. So yeah, so I ended up just putting up the Geek-Stew reacts video where I reacted to the old Geek-Stew videos we used to do. Remember the Geek-tastic vodcast?
I am familiar, but I swear to God, if you react to any videos using my image, I will sue the fuck out of you.
First and foremost, in all of those videos, you have your face covered with a Guy Fawkes mask, and you're
It ain't
called.
enough.
And you weren't in the video. Second of all,
So what you're saying is you just admitted I am in the videos.
I just said you weren't in the video. The only time that I've ever used your likeness, it wasn't even your likeness. You were in that. You were in the Geek-Stew Harlem Shake video, but you were under a mask the entire time. So,
all right, as long as that's the only one.
Yeah, you were in because I reacted to that one, and then
Don't say which costume I'm wearing though.
I'm not gonna say which costume we're in. That's why I purposely said you were under a mask.
In fact,
Anyway.
I'm going to go back and watch that video to make sure you didn't even mention I was in it.
I did not mention you're in it. You can feel free to watch it, you motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Anyways.
I am looking to sue you to hell and back.
Okay, first and foremost, you would lose that lawsuit because technically, if you did have your appearance in a video online, that falls under free use. I would be able to use it.
You want to make a bet?
No, because I don't want any kind of lawsuit, you stupid bastard.
All right.
Anyways.
All right, papers are on their way.
Yeah. If somebody asks me if I'm Isaac Brown, I'm just going to be like, nope. You can't serve me papers if you don't know who I am.
You can't get sued if they can never deliver the papers to you. Simple as that. Just say no.
Nope, that's not me.
Can't get mugged if you just tell the robber no.
That's different. But anyways, so last week I put up the it was the Geek-tastic vodcast bloopers. Basically, it was when me and Dave were in front of the camera, and Dave had a really hard time of saying Geek-tastic vodcast. But in slightly other news, obviously here at the Control Over C podcast, we talk about video games, but I'm going to introduce us with a topic that is not very important that we mention this, but we should give a moment of silence to the fact that Salsa and I are not on a cruise ship right now.
Yeah, fucking rip in peace,
seriously.
Dude.
So for folks who haven't, seen or heard before, me and Salsa do, in fact, we love going on cruises. Last time we talked about the piano bar, which is super awesome, and we right now we should be on the cruise ship if I'm mentioning correctly. I'm not sure because it popped up in my Facebook memories, right, and I can see like what we were doing on that day, but like I could never tell like where we were supposed to be.
I mean, first off, Facebook.
People still use Facebook.
Do this but more importantly, I just want to say, it's sounds so privileged. Say, oh, we should be on the cruise right now, dearie me. I mean, when you think about it, cruises aren't as privileged as they used to be.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, if your life savings, if you're poor, or if you're rich, it's like, yes, here's a gold bar. I'll be getting on this ship. But now it's like,
I'll be getting on this.
I mean, that's literally how I imagine the Titanic worked. I don't know. I wasn't there. But now it's like, you can go to Disney for a day and drop thousands of dollars. Or you can just go on a cruise ship for a week and it only costs you a couple hundred.
Yeah, really, it's not that bad for me and my wife because we were going to go on a cruise ship after we got married.
God, you love saying that. Me and my wife.
What am I supposed to call her? I mean,
I don't know. The missus, my significant other. It's just.
I mean, she's specifically my wife though. Like I'm a hetero. Well, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, roll that back. Roll that back. Don't lie.
Anyways, but no, like for real though, like it essentially.
It's not that you say it; it's the way you say it. It's like you always go out of your way to brag that you have a wife.
Well, I do have a wife.
Excuse me, good sir. I have a wife.
Anyways, me and my significant other, we were going to go on a cruise for our wedding, but obviously with coronavirus, we had to cancel that, and we had to move our wedding to months later.
It was
essentially,
so hot too.
Yeah, it was super warm.
Temperature-wise, I don't mean I was aroused by the weather.
But no, it was very warm because if we would have done it in April, I think the temperature outside was going to be like 60s, 70s probably.
It would have been
90 degrees, and it rained the entire time pretty much.
90 degrees, it rained, and then when it did stop for the actual ceremony, it was so humid outside that you could literally
the air was pretty
drink
thick. But you know, we were going to go on a cruise, and the price of it was like, I think with gratuity and with our no drink packages, but we included the gratuity. We also booked a fancy dinner, and we also, there was something else we did. Oh, and we
spa.
My grandma, we spa treatment for me and the missus, and I think $1,200 for the two of us for all of that, and then everything's included. We got to go to we got to go to an island, and then we also got to go somewhere else. But literally, all expensively incredible.
I mean, it's unbeatable in terms of value.
Is. I mean, if you really think about it, at Disney, it's like $1,000.
Remember, I was looking into Disney because I had a few friends who wanted to do a little trip. I was like, okay, 3 people, bare essentials. It's literally just the cheapest food package, cheapest hotel. Doing the math. First off, did you know there's like no hotel within 20 miles of Disneyland that is not owned by Disney?
Oh yeah, I knew that.
And if it's owned by Disney already, you're paying a huge markup. Literally the cheapest thing I could find looked like your basic Red Roof Inn motel that probably should charge by the hour. And it was still like $500 a night.
They're like, you will most certainly get herpes from existing in this hotel. $500.
I am literally paying to bring bed bugs home with me as a souvenir.
And see, that's the worst part. That is the worst part. You know, Disney is just, they're fucking overlords, and they can do whatever they want.
They get away with it. Who's gonna challenge Disney, huh?
Right. That's literally
Sony,
what they say.
who's about to be bought out by Disney.
I was gonna say Sony's about to be bought out by Disney, so they really won't have the opportunity to do that. I mean, literally, there's no one else left to oppose them. Even Warner Brothers is pretty broke.
It's like, remember when the US government said, hey, we're going to put laws in place to prevent people from creating monopolies. And then Disney said, no.
Disney's like, we won't create a monopoly. We will just purchase all of the companies.
It's not a monopoly if we simply own them. We're not them.
Exactly. Oh, but besides Disney being essentially the umbrella corporation, um, yeah. So cruise ships. We should be on a cruise ship. My memories popped up, and I actually 4 years ago, it was actually 4 years ago yesterday. I actually proposed to my wife on a cruise ship. So that was cool.
It's funny because you proposed to her, we were all there, and then while you guys were hanging out up on the upper deck, I literally went downstairs. I could still see you guys at the bar I was sitting at getting a drink. And I'm pretty sure I met Mr. Carnival Cruise himself. This dude walks up in a black suit, black tie, and literally says to the bartender, I'll have a triple on ice. Doesn't even get carded. They did not ask to see anything. They just poured it, gave him it, didn't even pay. So I'm like, what the fuck? This dude is either clearly working here or he owns the place.
Jesus
Me
Christ.
about, oh, what's going on up there? I see a big hoopla. And I'm like, oh, it's my brother. He just proposed and all that. And he's like, oh, give him my well wishes. And I'm like, well, I'd prefer a platinum membership, but sure.
Yeah, right. I would prefer cash if you have it.
I do accept gifts on their behalf.
Oh shit. Oh man. But cruises are so much fun. If anybody out there ever wants to go on a cruise, highly recommend it. You can set up payment plans to pay the cruise off. I mean, you don't have to pay it all at once. It's honestly, it's very worth the money and time that goes into it for sure.
And I will say, if you ever think about going on a cruise ship, it's great if you love food. It's great if you love traveling. It's amazing if you love drinking because, goddamn, I could put away a few drinks on that cruise.
Oh yeah. The drink package was like you can have up to how many drinks?
It's almost 15 drinks a day. And that's only alcoholic because it also includes the coffee drinks at the cafe, any milkshakes, any soda, any juice, pretty much anything. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only like $50 a day,
Yeah.
which you break it down, makes sense. So I will say, if you're gonna do the cruise, you kind of want to get the drinkage. Because if you don't, you get the basics, which is literally reconstituted orange juice out of a
Yep.
Machiros, ice water, and they do have the soda package, which is like 20 a day, maybe. It's super cheap, but
I think it's
it's
like
all.
$5 a day because it's stupid cheap. The soda packages.
But I mean, if you're gonna spend the money, might as well get the alcohol.
Yeah, the
Oh,
only bad.
that and faster to the fun is where you literally get to skip to the front of the line and get right on the
Yeah, I
ship.
think the old who get on before you are like the diamond and platinum members, like the people who've been cruising for like 30 30 years.
Yeah, I'm saying if you have diamond or platinum status on that ship, you basically own the place. There's
Yeah.
no way you've cruised. I think it was like to get to where we are now. We have like 30 days total,
Yeah,
and
I can pull it up here.
that's like generous estimate. But to get to gold alone, I think you have to have over 100 days cruised. Can you fucking imagine?
So the blue members are first sailing. So like you're automatically a blue member once you do your first cruise, and then your second sailing, which is 24 points, or second sailing or 24 points, you're a red member, and that's basically you get the only benefit you really get for being a red member is they give you a 1 liter bottle of water in your stateroom, which is good because like the water on the actual cruise ship is really
I
nice
mean,
and
what do you expect? It's
good to have.
literally boiled piss.
It really is. And then when you get to gold, because I think we're gold now, because we've been on 3 cruises.
I mean, fuck if I know.
We maybe only red still, because that's almost to the gold, or like we would have been gold. But when you get to gold, you get an appreciation drink on 5+ days. 5 play cruises on the last evening of the cruise after 5 p.m. So you get a free drink, I guess, and you get a free gold pen as well as the bottle of water. Now platinum's where it really steps it up a notch. You have to be at 75 points, which I really don't know how the point system works per se, but let's see. Complimentary bottle of water, priority check-in and boarding. There's a platinum and diamond party on 5+ day sailings, and it has complimentary drinks and appetizers. Let's see. We got complimentary beverage at Sea Day Brunch, chocolate delight strawberry plate delivered to your stateroom, collectible pen, priority spa reservations, priority shuttle boarding, casino buy one get one free tournament entry, $5 worth of arcade credits, a gift on every sailing, guest services priority by phone, priority on board guest services, priority debarkation, priority reservations at the main dining room, priority wash and fold laundry service. I would say Salsa could have used that last couple times we went. He only brought like 2 outfits and had to do laundry.
Listen, man, if I want to wear a suit and nothing else on the cruise, that's between me and God.
But literally all of that shit. And then you can get higher. The highest is diamond. So you get everything else that I just said. I'm not going to read it again. Let's see. And then you
I would
also
almost ask you not to read this, but you know.
I got to read it because you got to know. And there's a guaranteed, when you're a diamond, you get guaranteed seating time requested in main dining room for dinner. So basically you can say, boom, I want to go here, and then boom, you're good. And then priority reservations at specialty restaurants. So like they have like the steakhouse, unlimited wash and fold service, special event invitation from the captain on each sailing. You can get a free cabin upgrade, and your third and fourth guests sail free. They donate money to St. Jude Children's Hospital on your behalf, and they give you a one-time complimentary meal for 2 at a special restaurant your choice. They also have a specific dedicated phone number for diamond members.
It's literally just a single dude on the ship who is at your beck and call 24/7.
I mean, essentially, like, it's crazy, man. But, obviously, to get 200 plus points, I mean, that's got to be at least a decade's worth of fucking cruising.
I mean, if you're rich.
Right. Oh, man.
I will say that pretty much all the actually important stuff you get with higher levels, you get anyway if you're a faster to the fun. Because automatically you get on the ship faster, which is all that really matters to me. But you also technically get VIP, what do they call it? The help desk, where there's almost always a line. Not sure why. There's really not that much you can fuck up on a cruise.
Exactly. So, like, yeah, the faster to the fun on the cruise, it's basically... Sorry, give me a second here. So with that, you get priority check-in, boarding, and security. So basically, you get on after Diamond Platinum guests, and obviously guests who are traveling to deluxe suites. So like if they've got like the captain's suite, you're gonna get on after them. And they have an arcade that's gaming related. They have an arcade. It's not the greatest arcade.
You're really trying to find a reason for us to be talking about all this on a gaming podcast.
Look, man, this podcast can be whatever the fuck we want it to be.
I mean, I'll tell you, you got tons of stuff to do. And if you want even more, I literally last year packed my Nintendo Switch and hooked it up to the TV in the room. So when I was bored, I could just play Smash or whatever. It's whatever.
That's a good idea. I'll say that's a good idea. The only bad thing is like you could they have like an internet package, but like obviously you can't really the internet package is overpriced and the internet doesn't really work. So
sounds about right.
It's really overpriced. So I don't know why people use it, but it would be cool like to bring like a Nintendo Switch on the cruise ship, like invite people over to the cabin to play Smash or whatever, and that'd be pretty legit.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I mean, what else are you gonna do in the cabin with 4 people? Orgy?
There's not enough room for an orgy.
Exactly.
Salsa's like, yeah, I tried.
Trust me, I know. It's very uncomfortable mid-event, let's just call it that. And you feel someone else nuts rubbing on your back, and you're like, okay, should have upgraded to the bigger room.
But I will say though, like if you are gonna go with if like you're a couple and you want to go, it is 2 separate beds. But what they do is they push the beds together to make like a full or queen size bed. So that's pretty cool.
So if you fucking, just remember, one side or the other, not the middle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're in the middle, you're gonna fall straight through.
Which, I mean, hey, to each their own. I don't know what fetish that would be, but
pain or entrapment. I don't know if that's a thing.
Pain and entrapment. So what you're saying is, I love to be kidnapped.
Apparently, that might be a thing. You never know.
All right, I guess we should move on to at least something gaming related.
Absolutely, gaming related. Actually, one other thing. This is a little off topic, but I think it would be interesting. Do you remember Drake Bell from Drake and Josh?
Yes, I am familiar.
So Drake Bell apparently, like he's a musician. So, but like sometime within the last year or so, Drake Bell moved to Mexico and changed his name to Drake Campagna and started making Hispanic music.
So, why?
Honestly, nobody knows. There were some rumors that I guess like he had some girls that like came out saying that he was like abusive, and there was one of them, and this is obviously all just allegations and theories, but I guess one of them was like blackmailing him for money, and he basically stopped giving her money. So a lot of people think that he may have left due to that reason. Some people think that he just lost his mind. Excuse me.
Definitely sounds like it. So,
I mean, the music's not horrible. I don't speak Spanish, so it's really hard for me to understand. But I do know that Campagna is bell in Espanol, so
I mean, kudos, man. I don't.
But yeah, that's something. Although
It's a way of life.
yeah, really it is though. But in a different story that is actually gaming related, have you heard about all the shit that the Monster Hunter movie is getting?
I remember seeing like a trailer, and it had like, what was it? The Rock in a Humvee with a minigun.
I don't remember if it was The Rock. It does have Mila Jovovich in it. Let me pull it up here.
That's already not a great start. Not to say she's a bad actress, but historically, Mia Jovovich in a movie adaptation of a video game never ends well.
So it has so obviously it has Mila Jovovich. It has a guy named Tony Jaa, Jaa. It looks like he's in a lot
Ja?
of He looks like he's in a lot of martial arts related movies, and maybe the Fast and Furious films a little bit. Ti, as in the singer Ti.
I
uh,
I don't know. I don't know who Ti is.
I mean, you've heard Ti before. Like he's a musician. He sings. Let me find here because I honestly can't remember any of the songs he sings.
I was like,
Um,
careful, don't want to get copyright strikes.
he sings a song "Live Your Life" featuring Rihanna.
Doesn't sound too familiar.
So live your life. That
I would
song.
hardly call that a song. If it's the song I'm thinking of, it's literally just him saying, "So live your life." Hey, hey. Literally like a dozen times.
Basically, Ron Perlman's in it.
Now that's a weird one. I don't.
Honestly,
How do they afford Ron Perlman?
well, I mean, to be fair, like this is a pretty huge, like a pretty large budget, film.
I don't know. All I know is the trailer or whatever I saw. It looks like they're trying to do some kind of weird isekai kind of thing where people from our world get sucked into theirs and have to fight dinosaurs with miniguns.
Yeah, that's
That's all I know
actually
so
exactly
far.
what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, the here's the movie description. It says, when Lieutenant Artemis and her loyal soldiers are transported to a new world, they engage in a desperate battle for survival against enormous enemies with incredible powers. Feature film based on the video game by Capcom.
So what you're saying is I can now say that the live action adaptation of Monster Hunter World is my favorite isekai anime.
You sure can.
I'm not going to, but I can.
You're like, I have the physical ability to make this statement. Will I make the statement? No, but
God, why do they keep doing this? I mean,
it, honestly, here's the deal. I think they're honestly trying to find a format that works, um, and they're really trying to run with it because, quite frankly, it's just pretty much every other like game-based film has not worked up to this point. So I really think that they're trying to find one that sticks.
so call me crazy, but the one format they have yet to try is literally just do the game, but in real life. Instead, every time they do the same bullshit, which is either, hey, we're going to heavily alter the story, or whatever the fuck the Tomb Raider movies were supposed to be.
So the Tomb Raider movies, that's a whole nother story, to be honest. The Tomb Raider movie was just, and here's a weird thing is that a lot of people love the Tomb Raider movie. A lot of people said the Tomb Raider movie was like one of the best video game movies of all time. Now, I strongly disagree with
Give
that, and
you three words for why they love that movie. Those three words are Angelina Jolie's ass.
although I will say, I will give a little bit of a caveat to this. The 2018 Tomb Raider movie, that was essentially just a shot for shot remake of the new game, was pretty good.
It was pretty good. There were a few things like the whole subplot with her friends and whatnot they kind of ignored. But other than that,
Right.
it was a lot closer than any other movie has come until this new Resident Evil movie. Have you seen any of the and videos yet?
You said that there are videos from the new Resident Evil. Let me see. New Resident Evil movie.
There's not like videos from the movie, but the guy playing Leon has uploaded a few of those. What do you call them? TikToks.
Oh, okay, yeah. Say I don't think I've watched them, but I think I know what you're talking about them.
And I gotta say, I'm not quite sure how I feel about, because in his videos, he's not wearing like a wig or dyed hair, so it just looks like a dude with black hair trying to play Leon.
I mean, but that still may be good. I mean, it probably will be good, all things considered.
I mean, the fact alone that they're actually trying to make it after the games, good enough for me. I'll give it a shot. It's got Leon, Jill, Claire, Chris, even Wesker. Lay it on me. I want to see it.
Fair. Also, sorry, I was just looking, but so the guy who wrote this is wrote the Resident Evil film is Greg Russo, and I swore that I had heard the name before. So the story was written by Greg Russo, and then Johannes Roberts, the director, made the screenplay, and then it's produced by a couple of people who I have no fucking clue who they are. So he basically Greg Russo has made 3 screenplays to my knowledge. He made a screenplay about Space Invaders, or he wrote, I should say, he wrote a movie about Space Invaders. I'm assuming it's about the Space Invaders. He wrote the Death Note 2 live action script, and he also made the 2021 Mortal Kombat film script. However, before anybody passes judgment, the 2021 Mortal Kombat film supposedly is really good. Like everyone's saying that like it is like that who've been a part of the production has said that it's actually legitimate. And the reason they say that is because they brought on Ed Boon and John Tobias to do the like part of the script as well.
I will withhold judgment. However, I will say that you can't exactly trust the word of the people working on movies, only for the reason that remember what happened with what's the guy plays Finn Tutu whatever in the new Star Wars?
John Boyega.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. Dude acted as happy as can be working on these movies. And the minute his contract was over, he's like, fuck Disney, fuck these Star Wars movies, fuck everyone who worked on them. These were horrible. Why did they force us to do this?
Okay, but to be fair, John Boyega's beef with Disney has more about the fact that Disney essentially, Disney. Obviously, I don't want to disparage Disney. I don't want to fucking
Go for it.
copyright. Well,
They deserve it.
I don't want to fucking copyright strike from Disney, like with a fucking official cease and desist with Mickey Mouse's butthole on it. But it's like Disney. It's like they John Boyega's primary issue with the Star Wars movies, because you're right. Once his contract expired with Disney, like he essentially just whipped his dick out and slapped him right in the face with it. And
Burnt earth, motherfucker.
I mean, really, scorched earth. Like, it's true because John Boyega, quite frankly, he was treated pretty unfairly throughout the production and filming of those films, and a lot of people suspect that there may have been some issues with some of the, the back, behind the scenes bullshit, and I don't know. Although to be fair, almost everybody who's ever worked on a Star Wars film has had some issue with the production, even when it wasn't Disney. So I don't know if it's just necessarily just Disney or if it's just a curse of Star Wars films, because even like, even Mark Hamill has had some, concerns about the production and whatnot. So, I don't know. That's just what it is.
I think it's Disney because look at what happened with Star Wars. 3 movies which could have been amazing, all turned out shit, and multiple crew members were like, "This is horrible. Why did we have to suffer this?" And then Disney goes and does whatever the hell they try to do with Mulan. I don't know if you've heard all the controversies about that, but it's been rough.
Well, I've heard all about the controversy with the Milan. Honestly, I didn't watch it, and I probably won't watch it. But it's like I know that Disney can put out quality stuff, and then I also know that, like, for instance, like The Mandalorian is great. You know what I mean? So it's like I know that Disney can do good stuff. It's just I feel like they hire people who are just shitty human beings, and then that just causes issues.
Yeah, they do have a history of that.
Like, sorry, don't mind my typing, guys. I'm actually currently um, doing a little bit of work.
I'm
More work.
typing, and I'm in the mainframe.
We were talking about.
Oh yeah, like whoever they hired. Well, I'm not going to say they hired the wrong person for this, but the fact that they literally had to switch to a new director and then switch
I
back to
say
the
it was
original,
Ryan
which
Johnson and
Google.
who was the other one? So
Who,
Rise of Skywalker was J.J. Abrams. Um, let's see, Star Wars.
while I don't like J.J. Abrams, they should have just given him full control. Better than what they did.
I don't remember what the other ones were.
Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, and
Last Jedi was Ryan Johnson, and what was the other one?
fuck. I'm just gonna Google Star Wars. Look at them in order.
Force Awakens,
There it is.
and that was J.J. Abrams. So J.J. Abrams did Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. Ryan Johnson did Last Jedi. Now, I will say, arguably, Last Jedi was better than Force Awakens, and I would say to an extent, it was also better than. Also, I think it was better than Rise of Skywalker. I know that a lot of people liked Rise of Skywalker, but I don't know. Rise of Skywalker just seemed weird to me. Like when I watched it.
I think the biggest problem for me is I like Ryan Johnson. You know, what he did with Mandalorian was amazing. But the fact that he only had one movie set between two other movies
Right.
in which he had to come up with a completely new script, there's no way it was going to work out in his favor. Ideally, I would have liked for him to do all three movies. That way, he has full control of the saga, can write whatever he wants. But in lieu of that, they should not have given it to him. Instead, it would have been easier just to have JJ do all three so he can do his whole story and then we can complain about it afterwards.
Right. And and I think the one of the biggest affronts to the whole regime too is that I don't remember why they took away control from J.J. Abrams to begin with. I never do you know why they took away control from J.J. Abrams?
To this day, I have no clue. To my knowledge, it was just that I think they didn't like the way he was doing things. But when they hired a completely new director, they were like, oh fuck, what did we do? Backtrack.
So it looks like Abrams was brought on by Lucasfilms to direct Episode 7, Force Awakens, and he was given the option to direct the entire sequel trilogy, but he declined for reasons only known to him. Although it's likely he just wanted a little room to pursue other projects.
God
So,
damn it, Abrams.
so basically, we got the Ryan Johnson middle ground, and then when they went to make the Rise of Skywalker, they're like begging J.J. Abrams, they're like, please come back.
The thing is, I could go through and point out all the things I hate about the new trilogy. You know, like the fact that they really built up Rey's parent as some kind of huge plot point, and then they just
Right.
throw it away. And that's
Right.
all because, Rian Johnson had to come and pick up the reins and decide what to do. Instead of following that plot line like it was set up to be, he threw it away. And it doesn't matter who your parents are. Dumb plot thread.
Yeah, because then in Rise of Skywalker, obviously, spoiler alert for folks who have not seen the movie, giving you plenty of warning here. Spoiler alert. They reveal that her parents are Palpatines, aren't they?
Yes, she was a clone.
Was she a clone, or was Emperor? Or did I thought Emperor Palpatine had a child, and then his child gave birth uh to Rey.
Well,
Let me. We got to do another Google search here.
I'm pretty sure that she is a clone of Emperor Palpatine. Oh no, here it is. Thankfully, a new novelization of The Rise of Skywalker reveals that Rey's father is actually a failed Palpatine clone. It's revealed early on in the book that the Palpatine we're seeing on screen is not the same one from Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, because
Oh,
Return of the
bullshit. They literally had to retcon the movie because they explained it so bad. Because in the movie, they clearly make it seem like that is the same Palpatine. And in the movie, they even make it seem like Rey is a clone of Palpatine. God damn, how bad did they fuck up the movies?
I think here's the issue, and I think I think it's J.J. Abrams' fault because I in the beginning, I almost guarantee you that in the beginning, J.J. Abrams, his original idea was by the end of this trilogy, I want Rey's parents to be revealed to be Palpatines. I genuinely think that was probably his original like thought process. Like, this is how I want this to end. But then they had Rian Johnson step in, and then basically Rian Johnson just had to essentially do whatever he wanted. But I don't know.
I mean, there's no better way to put it than he straight up. He set up so many plot threads, like dominoes. And how it's supposed to work is, as he's setting up the dominoes over the course of 3 movies, he then knocks them down at the end, and we get a satisfying conclusion.
Right.
Instead, he set up a couple dominoes. Fucking Johnson comes in the middle and says, "You know what? Let's push those dominoes to the side, put them in a box, and let me set up my own dominoes."
Right. And I mean, ultimately, I think that still kind of falls to J.J. Abrams kind of fucking up a little bit.
Yeah, because he tried too hard to go back to the dominoes that were put away.
Exactly. Yeah. So he tried really hard to circle back to the to the dominoes, and instead of making additional domino trails that made sense, he basically just created a bunch of bullshit that didn't make sense. Which, I mean, not to say that it's expected, but it is almost, in my opinion, expected that when you introduce another director into a series that was started by J.J. Abrams, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to bring somebody else in. Like, obviously, J.J. Abrams had to have realized that most likely his original thoughts and opinions and plot points weren't going to be followed because it's literally 2 different directors making 3 movies. You know what I mean?
It's like saying we're gonna make 3 Transformers movies. The first one will be directed by what's that guy's name who does the Transformer movies?
Oh, Michael Bay.
Yeah, the first one, Michael Bay. Second one, Adam Sandler. Then Michael Bay. How the fuck do you recover after Adam Sandler?
Are we equating Rian Johnson to Adam Sandler?
In the way up, yes.
I was
But
like,
as
don't get
a
me wrong.
whole, I give more respect to Rian Johnson. No offense to Adam Sandler.
I like Adam Sandler. I mean, I guess that's another conversation for another time. But I do like, I do like Adam Sandler. He's a funny dude. Some of his old stuff's pretty good. Although I will say, I watched his movie Hubie Halloween that's on Netflix, and it's stupid, but it's pretty funny.
I will say, before we get too far from Star Wars, I just want to throw in a couple things. That being, how do I say this? Rey is not a Skywalker, and that ending was the worst thing I've ever seen. But also, God, I had something I really wanted to say about the movie that I kind of lost track of when you started talking about Adam Sandler. Obviously, all the characters horribly written. Like the fact that Ryan Johnson tried to push what was her name? The random mechanic lady?
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but yeah, I know you're talking.
Rose Tico?
Yeah, it was Rose.
That's it. Rose. He tried to push her to the front and make her a focal point of the story, which is good, It's important to flesh out these side characters, but ended up being the most irredeemable character. And then in the next movie, she literally only appears at one point in the background talking to another character. And it's just like, how do you go from being a main character to having less than 10 seconds screen time?
Right. Well, and to be fair, I think she didn't want that much screen time because the internet bullied her for absolutely no reason.
If anything, all the hate she got should have been directed towards Ryan Johnson instead. Not to
Right.
say he deserved the death threats, but he did fuck up the trilogy.
I mean, it's because honestly, if I had to tell you, like the Star Wars fans are probably some of the most toxic fan groups that I've ever seen in my life. Like maybe with the
You don't even know.
I know that there are plenty of toxic fan groups. I know
I
that
mean, off the top of
Steven
my
Universe
head,
fan groups.
we got Steven Universe. Huge one I really have a hate for, the Last of Us fandom.
The Rick and Morty fandom.
I don't really hate them. I get a good laugh when they say dumb shit like, it's a very high IQ show. You wouldn't get it. It's like, no, it's a fucking cartoon about an old man with a portal gun. There's nothing that high IQ about it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is that my biggest issue with the Rick and Morty fandom is basically the fact that they think that they're like they think that everything they do and say is big brain hours, except for it's small smooth brain hours, and they think it's big brain hours. So that's
The most intelligent, clever thing that came out of the Rick and Morty fandom was that dude who went into the McDonald's for the sauce and like got on the counter and started screaming. And the only reason that's high IQ is because to this day people still think that was real and it was not absolutely staged.
which is honestly the fact that you said it wasn't staged, right?
No, it was staged.
Oh, it
Dude
was. Okay.
literally knew he was going to do it when he walked in because him and the cameraman worked it out beforehand.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought you said it wasn't. I'm like, what? You said that wasn't staged?
I would be more concerned then.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty funny. But here's what I will also say. Back to the whole Star Wars fan thing. I honestly, the biggest perpetrators of like the toxicity in that fan group are basically people who, essentially, they're the folks that love the old Star Wars, love the old stuff, and they basically hate everything else. And basically, if you like the new stuff, you're also garbage. And basically, they pull the some of these guys haven't watched the old Star Wars.
That is, I get it, There is a lot of nostalgia for the old Star Wars. And I will say, watching the new trilogy gave me a lot of respect for George Lucas and episodes 1, 2, and 3. Because at the time we were all like, God, these are terrible. But now it's like the Silver Age of Star Wars. And we are currently living in the Bronze Age of Star Wars.
We had a slight regression, but honestly, one of the most redeeming factors of this is the fact that we have the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, thank God for that. No, that's not like what would you call that? Mocking?
Right? No, it's legitimately good.
It's everything I expected, because someone explained it to me that it is a space western set in the Star Wars universe, and I was like, you know what? Haven't watched a western show in a while. Ended up being probably one of the best westerns I've ever seen.
I would agree. I would 100% agree. And not only that, but honestly, the Mandalorian is also giving us the opportunity to see a lot of the characters that are from the Clone Wars. Like we're going to be able to see Ahsoka Tano, which I have not watched the new season of The Mandalorian, but I know she's in it. But yeah, it's given us the opportunity to see her. I know the Mandalorians themselves really didn't have much of a story in the original, films, because obviously we had Jango Fett and we had Boba Fett. But yeah, that being said, it's very nice to actually see this because I love those characters. And so it's nice to see kind of oh, how do you become a Mandalorian? What is a Mandalorian and whatnot?
Yeah. I mean, I really just like it because, Mando is a very quiet badass, but at the same time has to deal with a dumbass baby who can do space magic, which is fun to watch.
But oh man. So we've spent essentially the last hour talking about cruise ships, movie adaptations, and we got onto Star Wars somehow. And then we also started talking about toxic fan groups, and we essentially
we're a real shitty gaming podcast, to be honest.
Hey, look, man. Nobody ever said it was exclusively a gaming podcast. All right, that's going to be it for today, guys. We're doing a quick outro here because our recording thing may shut down again. So follow us on Instagram, or I'm sorry, Twitter and Facebook. We don't have Instagram. At Geek-Stew, geek_stew, that is on Twitter. And then on Facebook is facebook.com/try the stew. If you want to send death threats to Salsa, you can do it at red_the_writer. If you want to send death threats to me, you can send it to at pint-sized-beast on Twitter. Salsa, give us your words of wisdom that you gave us just a moment ago before we were interrupted by our recording.
Fine, I will repeat my words of wisdom real quick. Cowboys once said, quickest way to double your money, fold it over in half and put it back in your pocket. Bam.
Goddamn straight. Goddamn straight. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Yeet.